My name is Bassem Youssef. Thank you very much for having me in this. And I'm the host of a show called The Show, or Al-Barnamij. And this is the story of my program since I started on the internet as a show called The Bassem Youssef Show. Well, it all started in a room in my apartment. One table, one camera, bad hair, a banner behind me made of a collage of Tahrir photos that only cost $100. All that in a spare room in my apartment where we used to dry our laundry. To give you a better idea of how it was, that was the setting. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, we're going on. And that's the laundry, and that's me. Excuse the exposed toes and the hung underwear. So, well, actually, it all started me watching the events in January 2011 in my apartment. I remember watching the protesters clashing with the security forces over the bridge on the 28th of January. For the first time in my life, those dark-suited men with their clubs and their guns were pushed back and overcome by massive numbers of people just wanting to reach Tahrir Square. To give you an idea of how it was before the 25th, this is what protests looked like. Delusional protesters surrounded in a ratio of 2-to-1 by security forces. And this what we had after. So that, up to the end of the 18 days, I thought the country was having multi-personality disorder. There was the revolutionary personality in the square, and there was TV. Only when I went back home, I would watch the television, I would realize that there's no revolution. It was a conspiracy carried out by CIA, Mossad, Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, and Kermit the Frog. If they knew him, that they would have incriminated him as well. But we were so proud of our revolution, not being a reason to rise against the regime, but rather a reason for uniting all of these enemies for the first time in history. World peace was finally at hand. All day long, television was swamped by calls of people crying, howling, and providing eyewitness accounts of armed gangs terrorizing the neighborhood. It was a terror generated entirely by TV, because when you go out and see for yourself, there was absolutely nothing there. We had people giving eyewitness accounts of undercover agents giving out 50 euros and KFC meals in order to bribe demonstrators to stay in the square. If you were watching TV, you will find out that the square was filled with people who were drug addicts, jihadists, Mossad operatives, spies, together with obscene homosexual parties and orgies. And we do have a picture for one of these orgies. It's mouse and mouse action, yes, that's it. So if there was one word to describe the state-run media at the time, that would be Fox News. We had a singer claiming that he arrested foreign spies strolling next to his house and asking every Egyptian to arrest any foreigner he sees and hand it to the military. So two side notes. First, Egypt's #1 income is tourism. So we had to change our slogan from "Please visit Egypt" to this, because suddenly everybody was fleeing the country. Second, he claimed that the two foreigners that he arrested was two Swiss Islamists. So, seriously. So, but we had like all kinds of fun. We had celebrities calling in, suggesting innovative ways to end the sit in Tahrir. One suggesting a siege till they all die of hunger. Another suggesting a tank going in and shooting a round of warning shots. And another suggesting that the whole square should just be burned down. Still, people stood their ground, and at the end came the happy ending of Mubarak stepping down. In March, 1 month after the revolution, I started to document what happened in the media at that time. So this is how I started my show, and I have aged so much since then. Damn, okay. So the 18 days provided a sort of a gold mine of material to make fun of. I only hoped for about 10,000 hits on my YouTube channel, but after a few episodes, we had more than 5 million views in 3 months. And that is a record by Egyptian and Arab standards. Then I found myself negotiating with major TV networks, setting my own price. At that time, I was packing my bags to start a fellowship in pediatric heart surgery in Cleveland. So I had visa papers and Cleveland at one hand and starting a career in media on the other. People who live in the States maybe think that Cleveland was not a very good idea. So I took my chances with the media, hoping that the things have changed and the TV establishment would have changed. But the lies kept on coming. It was so hard to still keep the sarcastic and funny tone while we were having a rising body count in each protest with an overwhelming, deceiving media. But still, we came out 3 times a week on TV, not just to make people laugh, but to expose the amount of lies injected into media and politics. What started as a 5-minute episodes on YouTube turned into one of the most viewed programs in Egypt. On YouTube alone, we have now around 75 million views, making us the most watched program and the first successful conversion from internet to TV. Our 20-minute satirical show has had a significant effect on how people view media and politics. Every time I log on YouTube, I find more and more young people starting their own shows on YouTube from their own rooms. Many of them pay tribute to our show as the one which inspired them. Social media now is such a powerful tool in Egypt. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube became the new media. Even the veteran anchors on TV who used to be the main and only source of information and opinion became always 2 steps behind social media. And that alone gives me hope. The mainstream media can spread its lies, can distort the truth, but now there is the resistance. The youth who used to use Facebook and Twitter to pick up chicks use cartoons, memes, and smart slogans to attack the government and even the Islamist majority in the parliament. We are not passive recipients to news anymore. And if anything came out of this revolution is that people now watch parliament sessions more than TV soap operas. We started as a product of our company, which is a YouTube partner, first on the internet, but then we signed our first season for $500,000 for 104 episodes. We are now at the end of season 1, negotiating a $4 million deal to make it the first political satire show in the Arab world with real life audience. We didn't get the money yet, so if Google has any surplus money, we would be very glad to take it. Amongst the many setbacks of this revolution, this comes as good news for me. Not because we have increased our worth 8 times in 1 year, but because we can see the difference we made in the media from a room with 1 camera, all done through a small digital company concerned primarily with YouTube content management. There have been delays and setbacks in the course of this revolution, but a revolution is not an event. It is a process. And it is changing Egypt, not from the head of the regime, but from its grassroots. No one can fool us again. Even if you have the military, the media, and even a pretentious facade of religion on your side, there is now a million eye watching your every single step. We will not be taken as obedient, passive, frightened subjects anymore. The voice now belongs to the people. The media belongs to the people, and the power belongs to the people. Despite what you hear now in Egypt about the remnants of the old regime trying to manipulate the country or the rise of radical Islamic movements, I still see hope. We will not be oppressed anymore because after a year of freely expressing yourself in the most innovative ways, we can withstand shortage of gas, money, and even food. But we cannot let anyone take our voice again. And that is the real revolution because we have finally found our voice. Thank you very much.